Grades are important. In this video, I'm going to tell you what's actually important. Do you know how many students come up to me at the end of every term, every semester, and they come and they say, "Hey, Mr. Lam, can I get a higher grade on this? Can I get a higher grade on that?" These are the students that think grades are important. Well, today I'm going to tell you the truth. Grades aren't that important. And coming from a teacher, that should mean something. You think grades matter. You think the mark on the English essay matters. You think the mark on that math exam matters. Well, let me tell you, it doesn't. Why you think it matters is because your parents have told you that it mattered. Society has told you that it mattered, that you need them to go to university. And fair enough, you do need them to go to university. But that's not the only way. I'm willing to reason or bet that the only reason why you think grades matter so much is because that's the way it's always been in your mind. That getting good grades and trying to get into a good school and then trying to get a good job has been the only path that's been introduced to you your whole life. And that for the last 20 years of your life as a student, that's what school has been preparing you for, without giving any concern to the multitude, to the many other paths that exist for you to not just do well in this world, but to do really well in this world. And by that, I mean being happy. And you know what? Don't blame your parents for that. Don't blame them because they want you to get good grades to go to university. Why? Because they come from a time and place where that was the only thing that mattered. In 1974, getting a degree and then getting a good job and working for 50 years and then retiring and getting on a good pension plan for your company, that was the thing. That was the right path to go on. We don't live in a world like that anymore, but they don't know that. Why? Because they bring their opinions from the context for which they were in, not the context of today. So you can't blame them for giving an opinion based on their own experiences, as irrelevant as their experiences actually are. You can only blame yourself for your lack of understanding of the world, right? For your lack of understanding that people make money playing video games on Twitch. People make money by interviewing other people and then sharing it on a podcast. People make money selling slime on Instagram. Okay, if you don't know what it is, search it up. And you know what? If you do know this, but you're thinking, "Oh man, that's just for them, that's not for me," that's where you've gone wrong. I think we live in a world where opportunity is abundant, where following your passion and building an audience and making money off of that has been easier than ever before. And so I don't think there's any excuse for anybody that's in their 20s right now to have any excuses for saying, "You know what, I can't get good grades at university, therefore I'm not going to get a good job, therefore I'm a failure." And at the same time, there's no excuse for anybody to be like, "I'm getting good grades, therefore I'm going to get a good job, therefore I'm going to have a good life." What I want you to do is understand the context in which we are living in, that you and I, that the fact that you are watching this video right now should tell you something really about life. Because 50 years ago, this all didn't exist. Even 10 years ago, this barely existed. But now, it's here. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And that's why I think self-awareness is so important, is because a lot of these students, maybe you're one of them, that come to me to get a higher grade, that's the only thing that's important to them. That's the only standard they have to get their value or worth from. This is because for their whole lives, throughout their whole lives, it's just been school. It's just been grades. There hasn't been any other measure that's been valuable to them, that's been proven to get them the result that they want. It's because nobody has showed you. So I think at the end of the day, 99% of the tests that you take don't matter. Your employer, if you choose to get a job, is not gonna look at whether or not you got an A in that accounting class or that science class. Especially not in high school, right? Not even in university. Your employer is going to look at you as a person, okay? We don't hire people based on their grades. We hire people based on who they are as a person. And so instead of working on becoming smarter and getting better grades, be smart and work hard on becoming a better person. And work hard on becoming irreplaceable to whoever you want to work for or whichever company you want to work for. Or work hard at gaining a skill that you can use to provide value to other people. Don't get good grades. Get educated. Those are different things. Let me say that again. Don't get good grades. Get educated. Use the schooling system, use the education system to your own advantage by taking yourself out of first person and looking at it with a different perspective to understand why it's there in the first place, why the education system's been a part of society, how it's played a role. Don't just do whatever you get told to do by your teachers. Question why you have to do those things. Heck, don't do those things if you don't think they're important. What affects me as a teacher the most is when I see students blindly chasing after grades. There are two things that make me sad. When I see students blindly chasing after grades without knowing why and without knowing how little it actually matters in the long run. That's number one. And the second is me seeing students giving up on life because they can't get the grade that they want. Giving up on life because they think they're a failure, because they got a C in the last math test, because they got an F on the last essay, because they got a D in public speaking. I can tell you this right now. Your grades have nothing to do with your future. And at the end of the day, it does not matter whether you pass or fail. It only matters that you live, be happy, that you're with the people that you love, that you're doing something you don't hate with your life, that you can provide for yourself, that you become a responsible human being. And that, my friend, has nothing to do with getting an A, but everything to do with becoming a better person. So focus on that and think about that.